Hey Uncle John, this video is going to go over how to play flight sim with most of the assists turned on, and how to use the AI co-pilot as well. I think turning these on and using the AI co-pilot will make the flight sim experience a bit easier for you, more enjoyable, at least right now. I mean, all this stuff can be turned off later, you know, as you get your skills and fly in, flight sim back. So let's go through the menu options to get everything turned on. So, as always, when you start up the sim, this is your main menu. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into options here, click that, and then we are going to pick the middle one, assistance options. So all the options we're going to turn on will be under this category. Yeah. So let's click assistance options. And then we'll start from the top. Aircraft systems, click on that. So I already have these turned on. I'm just going to mention which ones need to be turned off. So first we want to have auto mixture on. That way you won't have to worry about the mixture controls. I'm going to limited fuel you can leave off. Aircraft lights. Let me see. You can have that on for automatically activated, so you don't have to worry about the light. And the gyro drift, you can leave that on as well. So that covers it for your aircraft system. The biggest thing for here, we want to make sure auto mixture is on. And then next will be failure and damage. If you want, you could disable crash damage, but I like to leave it enabled so you have something to let you know that you know everything went wrong. You need to start over. So navigation is the next one. So I would recommend you turn route and waypoints on. Taxi ribbon should already be on, but if it's not, turn it on. And this is the new one, landing path, turn that on. And that's it for navigation. So everything in navigation aid should be on. Now put it in easy mode. For notifications, I would leave pilot and control notification off because that tends to be too much information. Um, Aircraft system, you can turn it on or off. Doesn't really matter. I would leave it off. Flying tips, I would turn on. Objectives, I would turn on. That will help you keep track of what you're supposed to be doing at any one point in time. And software tips, make sure that is off because it's probably more information than you need. So for notification, flying tips and objectives on, everything else can be on. The next one is piloting. This is probably the biggest one. Auto rudder, make sure that's on. Assisted yoke on, that will help you keep control of the aircraft so you're not diving and climbing too much. And if the aircraft's starting to get away from you. Assisted checklist, turn that on. Assisted landing on. Assisted takeoff on. AI radio communication, you can turn that on if you want, unless you've been keeping up with the AQC radio yourself. If it's on, you kind of have it. It's kind of like having a co-pilot handle all of the radio stuff for you. AI anti-stall protection, turn that on. AI auto trim, turn it on. Assisted controller sensitivity, make sure that is off. That is for Xbox controllers only. If that's on, you might have some problems. Let's see. Glider, toe plane, takeoff assistant, that can be on. The rest of the stuff is helicopter stuff, which you're not doing right now. But, you can turn them on if you want. Turbulence, if you have it on anything besides low, turn it to low. So I think you might have it on medium, make sure it's on low. And that will do it for piloting. Let's see. Next is point of interest. Let's see. Make sure your smart cam mode is set to auto. Turn on your landmark markers, just to give you a better idea of what you're looking at. Turn on your city markers. Turn on your airport markers. Make sure everything else is off. Otherwise, it might be too much on the screen. And last but not least, under user experience, let's see, make sure everything is off except for ATC voices, which you want on. Instrument head-up display for the chase cam should be 4. It should already be set to 4. And the rest doesn't really matter. It's just kind of optional stuff. It doesn't make things any easier than that. Probably the most important thing to make sure that on under user experience is ATC enforced flight plan. It doesn't matter if that went on or off. That's up to you. So that covers it for the assistant options. So once you have all those selected, make sure you click apply and save. And that will save anything that you change to the game. And then you can click escape to go back to the main menu. Escape again. Man, back at the main menu. So let's do a quick flight with all of these assists on, and I will show you how to access them during the flight, to turn them on and off, and how to use the AI Copilot on top of all of the assists. So let's go to the world map. You can do this for any flight, any aircraft that's built in with the game. It doesn't really matter. But just to keep things simple, we'll do it with the Cessna 172 Skyhawk. Remember, set your tail number if you don't already have one in there. It should have a tail number in there if you've had one previously playing the game, but just make sure there's something in there. Weight and ballast. For this flight, just make sure there's some gas in there. 50% is fine. We can close that. Let's see. For departure, let's go somewhere interesting. Maybe Hawaii. We can do a quick flight. The thing that the assist and the AI Copilot can help with is if you want to start up on the ramp or at a gate. As if you remember, will be a cold and dark start as opposed to on the runway when everything's turned on and ready to go. There's 2 ways to do it. You can have the AI Copilot start everything up for you, taxi out to the runway, handle the radio call, or you can have it help you walk through the checklist, for the whatever individual aircraft that you pick, and then do them one step at a time so you can go through the checklist and see what needs to be done that way. So we're going to do both. So we do the checklist version first, and then we'll start over and I'll show you what it looks like when you let the AI Copilot just do everything. So we're back at Kaneohe Bay. I think this is a Marine Air Base actually, but that's where we're starting from. So instead of going on the runway this time, we'll start from the ramp. And I'll just pick a ramp spot. Maybe over here. Set that at departure. And then for arrival, back to John Rogers Field, like before. Set that as the arrival. Just check the weight and balance. We got some gas. Check your customization. Make sure your tail number is there. That's all we have to worry about for that one. And then let's go fly. Okay, so let's fly. So, as you know, this is a ramp start, so it's cold and dark. Your options here at this point are turn everything on yourself. You can do Control E, like we did before, to kind of turn some things on, or you can go through the checklist, like we do in the real world. And since we have our assist on, there's a couple of ways we can do that. We can go through the checklist step by step, and either you can complete it, or you can have your co-pilot complete it for you, or we can just have the AI co-pilot just do everything all at once. So we'll do both ways so you can see how it looks. So we'll do the checklist first, but for each checklist item, we will have it autocomplete. And then here's the pop up here. Let you know that you can ask the AI pilot assist to autocomplete the checklist. So let's do that. Then, of course, over here you have your objective panel that kind of gives you an idea of what you're heading towards. So let's go to checklist, which is the check button in the menu panel here. We click that. And that gives us all of our checklists, everything for our phases of flight from pre-flight all the way back to securing the aircraft after we land. Again, you can go through this checklist. You can use it, as a checklist. Actually do everything yourself in the cockpit and then check it off. Or you can have the co-pilot do it for you and see what it looks like. And that's what we're going to do. So we'll start with the pre-flight inspection. We'll do everything up to after starting engine. And then after that, we'll do it all again, but this time we'll let the AI co-pilot handle everything all at once. So let's start with pre-flight. We click that. And then you notice you have your whole checklist here. Everything needs to be done. If you were doing it yourself, you can use the I button here to kind of help you know where to look. But we're not going to do that. We're going to auto-complete each one at a time. Another option is you can auto-complete everything all at once. But, we're going to use it to kind of learn where everything is in the cockpit. So it's nice to just do it one at a time. We're going to let the co-pilot do it, but it will direct your view to what's being done. So we'll click the first one and then click that item.
Aircraft documents. Check.
Okay. Then we click the next one. Click auto-complete.
Parking brake. Set.
If you notice, it directs your view down to where the instrument or the control is.
Ignition. Off.
And we just go through them.
Avionics switch. Bus 1 and bus 2. Off. Master switch. Alt and bat. On. Primary flight display. PFD. Check on. Fuel quantity indicators. Check. LOW fuel L and LOW fuel are annunciators. Off. Oil pressure annunciator. Check on. Low vacuum annunciator. Check on. Avionics switch. Bus 1. On.
Then we scroll down with the mouse scroll wheel to the next one on the checklist. Notice there's a check mark once we complete it. Help you keep track.
Forward avionics fan. Check fan is heard. Avionics switch. Bus 1. Off. Avionics switch. Bus 2. On. Aft avionics fan. Check fan is heard. Avionics switch, bus 2. Off. Pitot heat. On check working. Pitot heat. Off. Low volts annunciator. Check on. Master switch, alt and bat. Off. Elevator trim. Takeoff position. Fuel selector. Both. Static pressure alt source valve. Off.
So everything in the before starting engine checklist is complete. You have the page complete here. Then you click here to go to the next checklist, which is the before starting engine checklist. We just go through that pretty quickly.
Pre-flight inspection. Complete. Seats belts. Adjust and lock. Brakes. Test and set.
Again, I'm not doing anything on the controller, but clicking the checklist. The co-pilot is doing everything for you.
Circuit breakers. All pushed. Electrical equipment. Off. Avionics switch, bus 1 and bus 2. Off. Fuel selector. Both. Fuel shutoff valve. Open.
Alright, that one's complete. Moving on to the start engine checklist.
Throttle. Open a quarter inch. Mixture. Idle cutoff. STB YBAT switch.
So we're not going to sit here for 20 seconds. You can force anything to finish. You want to just do it right away if it's something that you normally have to wait for. So we'll force finish that one. Continuing
STB
on.
YBAT switch. ARM verify that PFD comes on. Engine indicating system. Check parameters. Bus E volts. Check 24 volts minimum. M bus volts. Check 1.5 volts or less. BAT S amps. Check verify discharge. STBY BAT annunciator. Check on. Propeller area. Clear. Master switch, alt and bat. On. Beacon. On. Mixture. Rich. AUX fuel pump. On 3 to 5 seconds, then off. Mixture. Lean. Feet. Ready to brake. Ignition. Start. Mixture. Rich when engine starts.
So if for some reason, like if you notice here that engine didn't start, you should be able to go back and redo I guess we can't. But you can try yourself. So let's go back to the start. that time. So after starting checklist, continue on, autocomplete.
Throttle.
Waiting for it to hit 1000 RPM.
Adjust 1000 RPM. Oil pressure. Check. Amps, MBAT and BAT-S. Check verify charge shown. Low volts annunciator. Check off. Avionics switch, bus 1 and bus 2. On. Flaps. Up.
And now we're ready to taxi. So that was going through the checklist one by one, but let the co-pilot actually hit everything for you. So we're going to start over. This time, we're just going to let the co-pilot do everything all at once, and you can see how much faster it is to do it that way. Less immersive, but faster. So we restart this flight. Ready to fly. Back to coding dock. But instead of going through the checklist one by one this time, we're just going to have the AI co-pilot do everything for you. So you go to the flight assistant, and then you just turn the AI piloting on, and it will
Kaneohe ground Cessna November 123
go through everything quickly.
Cessna November 1234 Delta Sierra pushback request accepted.
Right to the taxi phase. Notice the objective change. We're now preparing aircraft for taxi. So the AI co-pilot can handle, or at least try to handle, all phases of flight, from startup, taxiing, takeoff, cruise, approach, landing, taxi again, and shutting down. It's not perfect, but it will try to do everything for you.
Kaneohe ground Cessna November 123 for Delta Sierra requesting the end of pushback.
So I'm not doing anything here, but looking around.
123 for Delta Sierra request to end pushback received. Kaneohe ground Cessna November 123 for Delta Sierra.
And if you notice, the AI co-pilot also handling all of the radio calls.
Cessna November 123 for Delta Sierra taxi 2 and hold short of runway for via taxiway golf. Contact tower on 120.7 when ready. Taxi 2 and hold short runway for via taxiway Golf Cessna 4 Delta
The
Sierra.
taxi guidance arrows on. And I also turn on the VFR map to kind of see things that way. Remember, that's always B, the B key on the keypad for VFR. You will get tips, flying tips here. If you are doing everything, these tips are useful to help you keep track of what you should be doing. But right now, we're just letting the AI co-pilot handle everything. So it's now taxiing, and it will taxi right up to the runway, and it will continue handling the radio cars as well. Notice the objective change as you go through what you're supposed to do for whatever phase of flight you're in. So you should go right up to the threshold and stop yourself, and then make that call to the tower to get permission to take off on the active runway, which is right where the next objective is. And hit the threshold right there. Pull right up to it.
AOH Tower, Cessna November 123 for Delta Sierra at runway 4 ready for departure east departure.
Cessna November 123 for Delta Sierra, wind 101 at 8. East departure approved. Cleared for takeoff, runway 4.
So we have
Cleared
our
for
approval,
takeoff
and we're
runway
going to
4
line up.
Cessna for Delta Sierra.
Which the co-pilot is also doing. I'm still not controlling the aircraft. Matter of fact, my yoke is joystick is sitting on top of the computer. I haven't touched it yet. So I'll bring it down here. And then it will go ahead and take off for you. Got the flap set, have the trim set automatically. It'll do everything. It'll do all of that for you. So those are the two options for, starting things from a cold and start at the ramp. Either going through the checklist one by one with assistance, or just have the AI co-pilot turn everything on, taxi, get you lined up, and take off. And remember, at any point you want to start flying and take over yourself, all you have to do is go to the menu, click flight assistant, turn off AI piloting. Now you have the aircraft, so you can start flying. All of the other assists are still on. Anti-stall, it will still handle the trim for you, and all of that stuff. You have control over the flap and the throttle. I think all the rudder is turned on, so that kind of helps with control as well, even if you have the rudder control on your joystick. So that's how that works. Again, you have the arrow here to kind of tell you which direction you need to be heading to reach your objective, which is the other airport. You can kind of turn there yourself, and then you get tips on what you should be doing next. Or if you want, the AI co-pilot to take over again, best thing to do is get the aircraft straight and level, go back to flight assistant, and then turn AI piloting back on, and then it will take over for you and continue the flight. So you can turn that on and off as you need. Sometimes it's nice just to have it on, so you kind of just look around and enjoy the scenery and not worry about crashing. So that's taking off from cold and dark, both methods, checklist, and just having AI co-pilot do everything else for you. So we're going to go back to the start on the runway option. If you had picked the runway for the departure airport instead of doing a cold and dark start, but it works the same way. Everything will be on for you. You can either take off with your assist turn on, or you can have the co-pilot do it for you. So we'll do the flight, both ways. So we'll start over back on the runway. Okay. As you know, because it started you on the runway, you already have clearance. You probably figured that out by now. So let's click ready to fly. So put you on the runway. Everything's turned on. You're ready to go. Now, if you notice, you have a marker here that's showing you the direction you need to go for your arrival airport. Just to give you a visual indicator of which direction you need to fly. Then you will also notice over here we have our objective. You've probably seen this before, and it tells you what's the next thing to do, and it'll tell you which keys to use. So in this case, if you remember you're having problems remembering to turn off the parking brake, that's the first thing you need to do. And it tells you use control plus the number key on the number keypad delete key, which is also the same as the period key. I call it period. We call it number delete. It's the same key. So we can do that. So period. And then if you did it, it'll turn green and go away. Then it tells you the next thing you need to do. In case you have a hard time remembering, it's saying apply full throttle and keep the aircraft straight. So you can do it, but what I'm going to do is show you how to use the AI Copilot feature. And the AI Copilot feature can theoretically do the entire flight for you. I mean, if you just want to watch it fly and look around, you can do that. Or you can turn it on and off, when you feel like you want to take over the flight for a while. So for this video, we're going to let the AI Copilot handle the takeoff, just so you can see how that works. Yep. Somebody just came in for a landing. A380. So, to turn on the AI Copilot, you bring up the menu, you know how to do that, move your mouse key up there, and then click on this Flight Assistant icon. That will give you the Flight Assistant menu. So, you'll notice from all of the assistant options that you turned on in the options menu, a lot of these will already be on. The taxi ribbon, the landing ribbon, anti-star protection, etc., etc. But what is not on is the AI piloting mode. This is turned off. You have to turn it on if you want the computer to handle everything for you. So I'm going to turn it on just so we see how it works. So I'm going to click AI piloting and then close the window. Now you notice right away it starts flying itself. I'm not doing anything. Okay. The objectives will still be there, so you know what should be happening. But the AI pilot is handling all the flying. So we look on the outside view, we look around. You can use this time to look around if you want. Or in cockpit, you can see what's being used. Look around that way if you want. And remember, this will always point to your arrival airport, just to give you a visual reference of where that is. If you're having a hard time using, the maps that are built into the cockpit. So AI Copilot is still on. It is going to do all phases of flight. It's going to follow all of the objectives.
Coneo Hay Tower, Cessna November 1234 Delta Sierra. Continue for east departure.
And if you also notice, it handled the radio calls automatically without me having to do anything. So it will stay on top of air traffic control. Okay. So I will turn on the VFR map just so we can see that. Remember, that's the B key. And then at some point it's going to turn and start heading towards the airport. So maybe in that direction. Or maybe in that direction. So with the assistance on, you'll also get some tips, flying tips here to help you kind of remember what you should be doing in any particular phase of flight. Now the AI Copilot is still doing anything. I'm not flying the plane right now. I'm just looking around. And if you notice, it's turning us towards a path that we have to the other airport. It's handling everything. It's almost like, I wouldn't call it an autopilot, but it's like having another pilot, in the cockpit with you. And you are the pilot observing, and the computer is the pilot flying. You want to use, airline terminology. You're a pilot not flying, computer is pilot flying. So now let's say, this some point of interest over there, and you wanted to go check it out. So you want to start flying. What is that? Let's go to external view. whatever that is over there by the airport. I want to do the flying now, just to fly over there and check it out. So back to the cockpit mode. What we do is we turn the AI co-pilot off. So go back to flight assistant, open that window, turn AI piloting off. Now all of the other assistance features are still on. Auto trim, auto rudder assist, all of that. But you now have control of the aircraft, or in this case me. So now I'm flying. And then I will use my shift arrow key to kind of look around. Well, there it is. That's what I'm looking for. Let's go to external view. And then I have control over the throttle. And I have control over the yoke. But the computer is assisting with the rudder. And the computer is handling all of the trim. So you don't have to worry about keeping the aircraft in trim with the 7 and 1 keys. Until you feel comfortable enough to handle that yourself, and then you can turn that feature on. So all you have to worry about is keeping the airplane flying with your throttle and your yoke. Let's slow down. I'm overspeeding a bit. Back in the cockpit. Now I'm just flying towards that point of interest over there. See what that is. View. So another thing you can do is instead of using the mouse to look around, you can hold down the shift key and then use those arrow keys to kind of look around more quickly. That might be easier for you, especially in cockpit, instead of trying to hold that mouse with another hand. So you can try that as well. It works for external view as well. Alright, so we satisfied our curiosity flying around. It looks like the barracks for the military base out there. So we want to get back on our path and keep flying towards the airport. So right now I'm following that blue arrow and until it goes away, and then I'm pointing towards the next waypoint, which is USS Missouri. And then give us some more throttle to get back up there. You can keep flying yourself, or if you want to let the AI co-pilot take back over, basically go back to your options, click on Flight Assistant, and then turn that AI piloting back on. And then now, I'm not doing anything, the AI pilot has taken over again. It's handling everything now.